Listen, the path I took ain't in a Gladwell book. I did it for the love shit. I know how them rap sales look. And a couple people try to tell.
Hey, what's going on, LinkedIn peeps? Look, you know one of the biggest mistakes you're making that you don't even know you're making? You're not getting your customers to define their problems well enough. Nope. Some of you aren't even getting to the problems. That's a whole different discussion for another day. But those of you that are, you're stopping too early. You're not getting your customer to define them. What do I mean by that? Look, most of you are good at getting the customer to say, I want more growth, or we need to be more efficient, or we need to be more effective, or we need to create more productivity, or whatever the case may be. You get them to tell you why they're looking at you for their product or service and why it's important. And they give you these, what I call open-ended answers, right? But you never heard that one before, open-ended answers. They use words like growth, more, less, productivity, that type of stuff, right? Faster, slower, other words, right? Great, but what does that shit mean? Seriously, what does that mean? And yet many of us don't go the next step and ask the customer to define that shit. So then when we're sitting in the pipeline meeting and I ask you, or your sales manager asks you, hey, why do they want to buy it? What's going on? He says, oh, they want to grow. And everybody says, oh, great, that's fantastic. They want to grow. They want to buy our product. But no one knows by how much. So listen, here's a cue. Anytime you hear your customer say something like more, less, faster, slower, etc., you need to stop and say, hey, yo, would you mind defining that for me? Could you define more revenue? Could you define more productivity? Could you define faster growth? Could you define slower times? Whatever the case may be, ask them to define it. And what you're looking for is measurable, right? Concrete, measurable answers. 15% translated into 200 million extra dollars. 22% additional output on the manufacturing machine, or 27 man hours in productivity. I don't care what it is, but you want it defined. Don't leave the answer open-ended so that you don't know, right? And here's why. Let's just say your product cost $100,000 and they're looking for productivity growth that's only 2%, or let's say it's 10%, but it's only $5,000 a year. Guess what? They can't afford your product. How about start there? The value of your product is tremendously diminished because the cost of it versus what they're trying to accomplish isn't there. But how about the other side? If they tell you how much they want to grow, and they want to grow from 100 million to 125 million in the next 3 years, and your product can play an instrumental role in making that happen, now you know that. You know that spending 100 grand on your product could return $25 million to them in 3 years. You got a winner, and you can have a conversation. That's why you got to do that. And there's one other reason you want them to define it. Every definition by every customer is different. So when you go into your CRM and you see how they're defining things, you could have doing it the old way, the way most of us do it. All 10 of your accounts for that quarter would all say more growth, more productivity, more efficient, etc. It's going to say all the same thing. So they all look the same. They look exactly the same. But boy, when you get specific and you make the customer define it, then every opportunity in your pipeline has different benchmarks, different numbers. Opportunity number one is 2 million and 37%. Pipeline opportunity number two could be a savings in productivity. So they're at, a 20% reduction in time and 200 man hours. I know, I'm making this shit up. But now everyone's different. Every pipeline opportunity is different. That's why you want to get your customers to define it. So don't rely and accept open-ended answers. Close them. Ask the customer, hey, would you mind defining growth? Would you mind defining faster? Would you mind defining slower? That's how you do it. All right, peeps, take that to heart. Get deeper in your accounts. Get a better understanding of how they're defining success, and you are going to sell more. So until next time, you know what I'm going to say, peeps. Peace. Hey, peeps, thanks for watching Keenan Vids. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, hit the little like button, hit the little arrow for share with your friends, and do me a favor and subscribe. Subscribe to Keenan. Because here's the deal. If you keep watching them, I'll keep making them. All right, y'all? I'm out.